Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy J Rocks. Today we're gonna be taking a look back at 1993. This is Batman Vengeance of Bane. This was our first introduction into Bane back in 1993. It was a 64-page special, basically another way of saying a giant size issue. And we were introduced to Bane here, and they were building him up to be a big deal. Here it was written by Dixon, written by Chuck Dixon, artwork by Graham Nolan, and inks by Eduardo Barreto. Eduardo Barreto is a very good artist in his own right. And this cover, man, I wish the story was all drawn in this style, this art style and this painting. This seems almost like Simon Bisley. You see Bane here. This is our first look at him. He's on the cover. I love when the first appearance of someone, they're on the cover of the issue. But a lot of times they don't like to do that because they like to surprise you. Like you read the issue and you get surprised with a new character. Here we already see it coming. Familiar with that signature, but that's the cover artist. Okay, so let's give a quick read through. Alright, let's check out who the colorist is. Adriani Roy. Colorists are often unsung heroes, and here, these three, Graham Nolan, Eduardo Barreto, Chuck Dixon, I would even say Big Four, because the colors as well, they made a great team. The colors on this, in books, you don't have audio. Usually in movies and so forth, the audio sets the mood for the scene. In comic books, it's just a visual medium, so you need to have you gotta have that coloring. The coloring has to set the mood for the specific scenes. Now here, obviously, you're in some type of third world country. Action scene right from the get-go. You got all these long panels, elongated panels. See the Jeep there? They're obviously like the law enforcement. Look, everybody's getting arrested. You got the pink hues here and then the blue. So you know it's night. It's dark, but then you still get a good idea of what's going on. It's not too dark. Over here it is, but so they're arresting everybody, torturing people and so forth. We're in a messed up prison. You get water here and so forth, so you know it's in an island. We're in an island. The prison's called Pena Duro, meaning hard rock or a hard place, right? Now one of the prisoners was pregnant. One of the refugees. She was pregnant. The father died during the whole scuffle with the law enforcement. And in this messed up island, the rules they have here, if the father dies and it's an unborn child, if it's born a male, they must serve time and pay for the father's sins or crimes or whatever. I love this panel right here too. You have the light coming in and you see the bars. That always sets a mood for like a depressing situation, a bad situation, if you will. Kind of like a walk of shame almost. So the kid's born and obviously it's a male. It's Bane. This is the story of his whole creation, how he became the man he is today. This was the first issue where he was introduced, and they do such a great job with the pacing, with the development of the character, all in one issue. Here you got this guy named Zombie. He's a prisoner. He kind of looks out for the mom and for the kid because he cleans around there and does other stuff. So the majority of the time, he's the only one that spends time around her because she's being a female. She's not around the other prisoners. You see her slowly degrading because time's passing. The child's getting older, and prison's a hard life and it takes its toll on you. You age 20 years and 10. You know what I mean? See here, he's clueless to what's going on. He's still an infant. And you see her, that's a great panel right there. The art is great right here. Nolan's art is it's great at telling the story, really capturing the emotion to every panel of how the characters feel in that specific scene. Here the kid, he walks around and plays around the prison. He sees all kinds of stuff. Here he sees this, another prison trope and typical in prison movies. Take that shank to the rear, homie. And he witnesses all that. Like the way they make the top panels like this, tall and slim. So it portrays that he's up higher up. That he's watching from a distance, and you see him. Then you see a panel of, from his point of view, his view that he's getting of what just went down. So this is a prison story pretty much. If you watch prison movies and stuff, you know a lot of what to expect. The mom, years pass, she's slowly. Once she dies, here she's sad, and look at what they do in this prison. She's dead. They just toss her over the cliff. You see them walking here, and when they're tossing the body over the bridge right here, it's so graphic. Like it's so graphic without showing blood or without showing anything. It's just what it implies. Like they're just throwing a body away like it was last week's trash. You know, chump for the sharks. So now the warden's explaining to the kid what's going down. He's gonna be sent with the rest of the male population now. For the first time in his life, he doesn't have his mom, and he's not in. They're not isolated. They're around. He's gonna be around other people now. Remember, he was born in this prison, so he's never been used to being around a lot of people. So that in itself is scary. It's new to him, and it's only gonna get worse because these are not good people. Again, typical prison trope. We got the perv, the child molester, already looking at him. You see him here looking from a distance, and then you see an up close shot. I'm telling you, the artists, they really got down on this. They did a great job. Look at this panel. It's all dark. Kids in a fetal position, basically, and nothing sings a sad violin like when you see the window with prison bars and the moon setting, and you get the shade over here. That's also a trope you will constantly see in movies. It just it's it was masterful right here. It says a lot without really using any words. Now that character zombie that was guiding the kid, he's the one doing all the narrating. The narrating does a great job of telling the story without feeling like it's too wordy, like it's not over explaining things. Grabs the kid, and here you see a good close up of the character. And here you see this guy. He got the shade, so it's a little mysterious, but you know it's it looks also intimidating. You know this guy's not to be messed with. Just what the art tells you that. I hate when writers have like the guy say it. Oh my God, he's scary looking. Or when they have the character say it, it comes off so cheesy. They let the art set that tone and let the reader notice that for himself. So now this guy's name is Trog. He's fending for the kid. They get in a scuffle, and he's a big player in the prison. He's killed a few people there. He's a tough guy. While they're fighting, Bane falls over the cliff, gets in a coma. And once he's in a coma, he's been in this for a good while. Thing that happened during this coma, he kept seeing nightmares of this bat. A bat was kind of a metaphor for his fears. And he's always scared of his fears, can't conquer them. There's another great panel again. Look at the facial expression and the colors. You just know he's in a dark place, scared out of his mind, with not much words. The art tells you the whole situation on its own. So once he gets out of this coma, he becomes a different person. He comes back. He's a little older now. And the first thing he does, he has a shank right there. He sees that one guy. And again, another... Look how graphic it is without actually ever showing any violence. Just shows the ring and some blood. And you see again the bars, the prison bars. Oof. All we need is the wolf howling. The coyote. You know, we got the moon, we got the bars, we got the late night. Whenever this happens in anything, it's always implies something negative. So you see him going through his growing pains. You see Bane going through his growing pains. So once they caught him that he did this murder, he's taking the long walk. Kind of like they do when they say dead man walking, they take that long walk. But they're not taking him to death row here. They're taking him to the hole. He's going to do 10 years in the hole. Here's the guy that helped him. Drog, he's kind of just looking like, I saved this kid for nothing. Nobody survives the hole. You see him here. He's already in his 20s, ready to get out. While he's been in there, he just did nothing but work out and meditate. He learned how to focus. Like he said, in my mind, they couldn't track my body, but not my mind. So in his mind, he pictures he's in other places, right? So he's getting physically and mentally strong. They did a great job developing him. The pacing was great. It never felt boring. It never felt like it had too much dialogue. See, these are his again his nightmares. Again with this bat. But here a funny thing happens. Look what he does. He kills the bat here. It's a metaphor for he conquered his fears. He's no longer fears stuff. So once he gets out of the hole 10 years later, he gets out and you see this sinister look in him, like a twinkle in his eyes. He's not the same person anymore. This is definitely all about character development, telling you his life and his story. One of the best jobs I've seen this with in an origin story with someone on their first appearance. Usually it comes way years later down the road. Here's his new roommate. His name's Bird. He also treats him good, talks to him, and he's slowly aligning himself with people, making friends. And this guy starts talking to him about the outside. He's like, how's the outside? I've never been out of prison. Woo-de-woo. He's telling him about Gotham and how shitty it is. And he's like, this sounds like a very terrible place. You must be real hard to rule there. Who rules? He tells him Batman. And he immediately piques his interest. And he's telling him, oh, you don't want to mess with that guy. He runs that city. Like, all the criminals are scared of him. So he starts, another prison trope. He's reading books. When you read books in prison, it depends what you read, entertainment or what. He reads a lot of knowledge, philosophy, war generals, how to strategize, how to strengthen his mind. So he spends years working on that. He is just planning to escape. There's the prison sharks and stuff, kind of like Alcatraz. He's leaving with his posse. They're all planning a prison escape. And this is what he's picturing. He's picturing Gotham, how he sees it, and this Batman they talk about. He conquered his fears in his dreams, but now he wants to play, in the real world. So he's just dreaming about leaving, and he wants to face the Batman to prove he's conquered his fears in the real world. One day they call him up because obviously the warden and stuff don't like him, to experiment on him, kind of like the whole Captain America thing, the super soldier. But here in a prison, they're experimenting on prisoners that nobody gives a shit about. So if these drugs don't work, that's fine. Who cares if he dies? Obviously, he's struggling with it. You see him here in pain, a lot of pain. But he survives it, and somehow this makes him stronger. It worked. So this Venom is basically like a super steroid. It worked. They're pumping it straight to his skull. They did some type of surgery on him. It worked, and now he's like, they just made him more powerful. So now he's ready to rock and roll. He's ready to escape prison and go out into the real world. So he's talking to that guy Zombie. You think you could replicate this drug and so forth? He's like, yeah, of course. I just need to find out what's in it, and I could make more. It's like, so when they escape, he can make more for him, so he could be ready to face the Batman. We get towards the end of the book. Batman's working his usual night shift, roughing up a couple of local low-level scumbags. And Bane is watching from a distance, and he's kind of impressed with Batman. He feels he's not ready to fight him quite yet, but he does make himself known. So he's watching from a distance. Once Batman's done, he says, also, you're Batman, so-and-so. And Batman's like, who are you? I've never seen you before. Because Batman knows all the get down in Gotham. He knows everything that happens, all the big players, all their names and so forth. He's not familiar with this guy. So he's kind of curious, and Bane says, you don't know me, but you will soon. And he goes, till then, just watch yourself. And Batman's like, you're threatening me? Get in line, buddy. Says that right here. So that's it, basically. The story ends there. Very great. So if you guys like this story, hit that like button. And if you like this video and you want to see more of the same, or you want to see me continue this read along, keep reading some more Batman, and I'm going to try to do it in chronological order. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button and stay tuned for the next video. You really want to get hardcore with it, hit that bell, and that'll notify you every time the next video's up. It won't just show it on your feed. Now, as far as the story, I thought the pacing was great. It never left a dull moment. It gave you all the information you needed to know. It gave you a great first appearance of this character. Great build up. It explained to you who he is, what makes him tick, what his motivations are, and what is this thing he has about against Batman and so forth, and is his whole backstory, all in 2 issues. It's in one 64-page issue, which is basically 2 issues. But to tell this story, some writers or nowadays you need like 6 issues. They'll draw it out, 10 issues the whole year. They did it all in a one shot. So I thought this was really great as far as first appearances go of a character or origin stories. No fat, all filler. So I'll hit this one with like a 10 out of 10. It's one of the better origin or first appearances. Most first appearances don't even tell you much about the origin. It usually comes later down the road. So yeah, guys, just let me know in the comments. Have you read this? Did you like it? What you think about it? And let me know if you... I'm gonna try to make the next video. Let me know if there's any other characters you'd like me to try to cover in chronological order. But I'm gonna try to continue this book because it's one of these big chunky books. But I don't want to do a video on the whole thing at once because it'll run too long. So alright, guys, thanks for checking. Thanks for taking some time out of your day to check out my video. And I'll check you guys out next time.